Talk with author Drelet is a show that informs, inspires, and motivates. All shows are taped in front of a live virtual audience. Make sure to follow us so you can be notified when a new show is available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also follow us if you want to be a part of our live tapings. Grab your beverage and snacks, get comfortable so we can let's talk. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. I am your host, author Drelet. This is the show where we inform, inspire, and motivate you during these tough times and beyond. So come on in and have a virtual seat so we can let's talk. You guys can view my shows when we go live on Facebook and YouTube. All shows are now stored over on YouTube and they go back as far as day one. So thank you once again for joining me tonight for a live show. So excited to have you. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend your Friday night with me. Tonight, you guys, let's talk about life on and off the track field. Tonight, we will be engaging in an inspiring conversation featuring Dr. Cornel West. He is a philosopher, a professor, and a theologian, alongside his brother Cliff West, as they share insights on track and field and the remarkable life journeys. We'll also welcome my Uncle Bart, who is an Olympic track star. He will reflect on his unforgettable experiences competing in the 1970s. It's going to be a powerful, personal, and uplifting segment you won't want to miss. But first, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, as you guys know, I'm going to give a special shout out to my Let's Talk fam. And the Let's Talk fam are typically those individuals who watch the show live with us. And if you make sure you give your name, where you're watching the show from, and all of that, I love, love, love my Let's Talk family. If you're also watching this in a pre-recorded phase, no worries. I always go back and read the comments and acknowledge you as well. So we'll be back after a brief message from our sponsors, okay? Discover award-winning, critically acclaimed reads from the Black Authors Association #1 memoir, Pretty Little Bastard Child and Searching by author Danny. Parts 1 and 2 deliver a raw, powerful testament of courage and resilience that will leave you speechless. As author Danny says, your trauma isn't your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. Purchase books on authordannyd.com.
Oh, yeah. You made my day. There's sun when my skies were gray. As I watch life pass me by, too afraid to give love one more try. I've been hurt by love before, and now I know how it feels. There's no greater prison than to be in love by yourself and someone new.
She was a woman ahead of her time. My mother made a decision in 1974 that would echo through our family for nearly 50 years. She purchased a life insurance policy, quietly, intentionally, lovingly. She didn't know exactly when she'd leave this earth, but she knew that when she did, she didn't want her children drowning in grief and bills. My name is Elise Green, and I'm a financial literacy educator because of her. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to share her story and why it changed everything for our family. This one's for every mother, father, daughter, and son who wants to leave love, not burden, behind. Follow along. The story is for you.
you ever looked at yourself and wondered, who am I? When sadness, fear, and doubt fill our hearts, we can lose sight of who God created us to be. But what if there was a way to see yourself through God's eyes? The Mirror by Michael A. Jones, available now on Amazon.
You guys, that was the message from our sponsors. Make sure you go out and support them. You know how I am on entrepreneurship. Absolutely. So, you guys, let's see who is checking in from Let's Talk Fam. I see quite a few of you watching. Thank you so much for your love and support. Super excited about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And several of you aren't scared to say hello. The usuals, which I love, 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 love. If you're scared to say hello, it's all good. I totally understand. But let's go down the list here. First of all, hubby, watching from the man cave. Love you, babe. Thank you so much for your love and support. So supportive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much. My girlfriend, my friend from Michigan, my sis Tanya. Hey sis, oh, thank you, love you too. She is in Chi-Town, but she's from the D. She is from the D. Love you, Tanya. And Carla, oh my gosh, I love you, Carla. Carla always, as you guys know, Always supports. I truly appreciate you. Yes, she said, oh, okay, you just ate at Dominique's restaurant. And so, oh, wow. How was the food? Was it good? I got to check it out. I got to check that out. Let me know how the food is, girl. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, Carla. And my sis, yay, from Oaktown. Love you, sis. Mwah. She is watching. I love you so much, sis. You have no idea how much I truly appreciate your love and support. It's always good to have those family members that rally around you and love you. And you are definitely one of them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you'll see what I mean when you see this interview. So thank you, sis. Love you, love you, love you. Um, oh my goodness, my uncle. Hey, Uncle Sylvester, how are you? That's my husband's uncle. He is checking in from Cali. How are you, sir? Thank you for your love and support. Truly appreciate that. You wasn't scared to say hello. Let's see here. Pastor Davis out of South Carolina. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate your love and support. Yes, indeed. Thank you, sir. All right, you guys, let's get into these hot topics. Oh my goodness. So much is going on. As you guys always hear me say, my biggest struggle is what do you cover and what do you not? Because it's so much. It's so much stuff out there. So I try to keep it positive and light, not too heavy and things that would be of interest to the viewers, right? So this one right here, I definitely want to share this one with you guys. This is not good at all. According to TMZ, Earth, Wind, and Fire hit the pause button on their Thursday night concert in San Francisco with Lionel Richie after one of their band members fell seriously ill. No, oh my goodness. The legendary funk band posted a statement on Instagram saying they were unable to perform at San Francisco's Chase Center because of a medical emergency involving the band member who has not been identified. Oh no. I can't take another great band um or legendary R&B musician just, oh my goodness. I hope everything is all right, cuz I'm going to tell you, when you're having a low moment or you just want to hear some good music, for me, Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of those bands I put on and I just dance. And if you recall, all their music for the most part is about positivity and love. And I love, love, love that band. So prayers go up to the band members and hoping everything is going to be okay. Yes, moving along to the next hot topic. What do you guys think about that? Oh, yeah. So Sis says that she just heard about the concert. Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. I hope they're okay. I hope there's nothing serious. I hope that things work out. And I know how it is to be touring. I'm not an artist, but I've heard about the grueling schedules that they go under. So just quick prayers for them. You guys lift them up in prayer. Okay, so moving along to the next hot topic. This next hot topic, y'all know she is no stranger to controversy. Oh my gosh, none other than Tony Braxton. I love, love, love me some Tony Braxton, okay? According to TMZ, Tony Braxton recently settled a nearly $598,000 IRS debt covering taxes from year 2022 to year 2024. Not again, Tony. The lien comes more than a decade after her second bankruptcy was finalized, following earlier financial struggles in 1998 and again in 2010. Despite past challenges, including public criticism and the impact of two bankruptcies, her team confirms the tax bill has now been resolved. So glad that's been resolved. I don't think I could take it if Tony Braxton went to prison like some of the others. Ron Isley, some of the other stars in the past, Red Fox, all did prison time because they owed IRS. And I just couldn't take it if Tony went, right? That's my girl. But here's a quick question for you ladies out there. She recently married Birdman. I don't know if y'all know who Birdman is. He's the guy, I guess, brought Little Wayne onto the scene, if you will. And everybody was like, why Birdman? I mean, look at him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But she's gorgeous. Why Birdman? No, maybe he's got a beautiful personality. I don't know. But some were speculating it could be because of his money. Now, here's a question for you ladies out there. If you're having financial difficulties, some friends of ours were talking about this over dinner one night. If you're having financial difficulties, men and women, Would you marry somebody that's going to pull you out of that financial debt? You know, Pinky Cole, who's on TV right now with Real Housewives of Atlanta, her husband has gobs of money. And as you know, she's got those vegan restaurants. And she ran into some financial difficulties. And they actually show her telling her husband, I don't want your help. So, ladies, would you be a woman that say, "No, I don't need your help. I'm going to figure it out on my own," or would you say, "Yeah, I need all the help I can get"? There's a lot of questions there, simply because what if that guy helps you and he never lets you forget how he helped you, or are you just gonna pretty much kill yourself trying to get out of debt yourself? That's a good question. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Mark says money. He says he thinks she married him for money. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Tanya says she saw that. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like at the end of the day, um, you got to put some morals and ethics into it, right? But again, I love Tony. Nothing bad against her. Love you, girl. I'm glad you paid that debt, but it does give. Okay. All right. So moving right along to our next hot topic. This is a hot topic from DTL Productions. I must announce for you guys. So what is going on here is this is something that we've been talking about at DTL Productions, and it's something that we've seen other podcasters do. And we said, why not, right? Why not do something like this? Okay. So let me tell you what this is. Okay. So, in a nutshell, it says, and I'm going to read it verbatim. It says, I've got something special to share with you guys. As we continue growing Let's Talk, my goal has always been the same: to inspire, inform, and motivate people during these tough times and beyond. You guys always hear me talk about that. And now I want to take that mission even further. When Let's Talk reaches 5,000 subscribers by the end of September, I'm going to bless one lucky supporter, and I'm going to do a random drawing, right? With a $400 gift card. So whether you need to pay a bill, buy groceries, get school supplies, or simply spread a little love and motivation to someone else, this gift is my way of giving back to the community that continues to lift me up. Your support means everything, and I want to pour that same support right back into you. So keep watching, keep sharing, keep growing with me, because Let's Talk is more than a show, it's a movement. So the more people you tell to hit subscribe, the quicker we get to that number, the higher your chances are of me pulling out your name. Now, these will be subscribers. Again, it'll be a random drawing, and it'll be a $400 gift card or cash app. So it's going to be cash. And this is from DTL Productions. So you guys, I truly appreciate your love and support. Again, that is our goal, to try to get to that number. All right. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to get into why we are all here. You guys, I'm so excited to have this opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity that came my way. And I was just like, of course, absolutely. I would just love it. So, you guys, let's get into this formal introduction. Yes, indeed. What you see on your screen are three brothers, in my opinion, that are the epitome of resilience, legacy, ethics, and morals, right? So the first person you see is the world renowned Dr. Cornel West. He's an American philosopher, theologian, activist, and public intellectual whose work centers on race, gender, and class in American society. Over his career, he has taught at major universities including Harvard, Princeton, Yale, and Union Theological Seminary, and is known for influential books such as Race Matters, Democracy Matters, Beyond Academia. West has appeared in documentaries, acted in the Matrix films. I love the Matrix films, and released spoken word and hip hop albums, making him a prominent cultural figure. Yes, indeed. So glad. I followed him all through college. He is one of my heroes, so to speak. His brother, Cliff West, is the older brother of Dr. Cornell West. He's a world record breaking track star whose versatility made him the only man in history to run elite times from 100 meters to the mile, earning state titles, NCAA records, a spot in the 1972 Olympic trials, and international victories with Team USA. After his running career, he became a pioneering African American technologist at IBM, a respected coach at major universities, and the author of Life and Time, which was inspired by a profound near death spiritual experience. The other gentleman is my uncle, Barton Williams. He is a celebrated NCAA Division II Hall of Fame track athlete who represented the U.S. in 10 international competitions, set multiple Cal Poly records, and became Vallejo's first athlete to qualify for the 1980 U.S. Olympic team before the boycott. He later coached at Vallejo High, Contra Costa College, and served as an assistant coach for the U.S. World University Games team. He earned honors such as the Congressional Gold Medal and Cal Poly's Distinguished Alumni Awards. So, you guys, please help me welcome to the virtual stage. And I must tell you this, it was recorded this past Tuesday simply because Dr. Cornel West, as you can imagine, has a very busy schedule. So, we pre recorded it, and I'm so excited to have them. So, you guys help me welcome to the virtual stage Dr. Cornel West, his brother Cliff West, and my uncle Bart, Olympian track star. All right, and here we go. Make sure you put in your comments as we'll go through the comments and we will put them on screen. So it does matter. So make sure you chime in, okay? And if you're watching this in a pre recorded phase, no worries. You can put your comments in as well. And if you have any questions, I'll make sure I get them over to the gentleman to answer at a later time. All right? See you soon. Talk. We have Dr. Cornel West, his brother Cliff West, and my uncle Bart Williams. Thank you so much for being a part of Let's Talk. I truly appreciate you guys coming on. You know, we talk about life on and off the track field and what it encompasses. So I just want to know first, Dr. West, I did not know that you ran track. Tell me about that. What first drew you to track and who inspired you to run track?
Well, my immediate inspiration was my big brother Cliff. I just wanted to be like him in every which way, singing, dancing, running, loving, laughing, everything. And he was on the way to becoming a great star. I never became a great star. I set a city record in the 2 mile, but he went on, of course, to be national and international. But when he was getting up running in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, let me get up with him and just start running with him. Indeed. But he's really the one, of course, for both of us. His mom, Irene, his dad, Cliff, his Reverend Willie P. Cook, his John Braxton, and Bill Mahan, who were the coaches.
That is such an amazing story that you look up to your big brother. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So, Mr. West, Mr. Cool Papa, as you say, call
There
you.
you go. There you go. Now I answer to that. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about Mr. West.
What first drew you to track and field? What inspired you, sir?
Well, first of all, just thank you for having us on here and providing this platform to do this. Really, it's like nobody gets anywhere without an usher. And, I grew up in a black neighborhood, Cornell and I, and it was a guy named Theodore McDonald. And he was a long distance runner in our community. And he said, we black, but we ain't got to all be sprinters. And so I was very small for my age and the whole thing. So make a long story short, I really got into a deep affection for running in my sophomore year in high school, and wasn't very good at all. Barely made the team, cross country team, that is, by the end of the season. Track team, I was just an afterthought my sophomore year, but I really had an affection for it. And so I took kind of like a vow. I said, I'm going to take 36 months of my life and I'm going to dedicate my life to this. And I was just going to see what happens. And I went from running a a 2:34 half mile in September of 1965 to running a 4:09 mile in June of 1968, just in 36 months.
Wow.
So, it really just kind of shows, and I pass this on to youngsters. You dedicate 36 years, especially at that time of your life, no matter what it is, track, sports, or whatever it is, and just really dedicate and have discipline to them. We grew up in a very disciplined house and so forth. But talking about my brother, Cornell eclipsed all the times that I had at his age. He skipped third grade, even from third to fifth grade. And so he was always the youngest person in his class. So he ends up running a 10, 12, 2 mile at 14 years old, which is pretty good. It's way back in 1967 and 68, actually. And so he had run a 4:29 at 15 years old. See, so he was well, I'd only run 4:37 at that age. So he was well beyond but it has a lot to do with the relationship that we had too. We would go to the parties together and, I thought I could dance till he got on. And to me, I just loved it. Every time he would eclipse me in doing anything that I would be able to do, it was more than just an extension of myself. It just taught me how to love at a whole different level. And that's why the love we have for each other is really extraordinary. It really is.
Wow. That's such an amazing story to hear. Oh my goodness. And my Uncle Bart, you at track and field knowing Mr. West. And so what drew you to track and field, Uncle Bart?
Well, I was watching TV with my father, and it was the '68 games, and I seen Lee Evans from San Jose. His second wife is from my hometown, Vallejo, and seeing him winning the gold medal, and seeing his teammate from San Jose State, Carlos and Tommy Smith, standing on top of the victory stand, doing doing the Black Power sign. That made me that gave me some strength. And I said, that's something I had wanted to do. You know, to be on TV. To break a world record if I could have. Because I always believe in myself. I never doubt myself at all. Some people compete; they have doubts in their mind. I never had a doubt. I said, if somebody beat me, that was only for that day. I said, when I come back, it's going to be a different story. And so I always put in the time and effort to be as good as I can. And plus, my dad didn't take nothing less because he was in the Air Force. He said, if you put your mind to it, you could do it, and he kept on instilling that in me, if you want to do it, you could do it. The only person stopping you is you. And when I missed practice a couple of times his voice come into my mind, I said, it's me. It's me. It's not the coach. It's not nobody else. So I need to be at practice every day, putting in the time.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So you guys all talk about running in the 60s and 70s. What was life like back in the late 60s, early 70s in relation to track and Dr. West, I know you talked about how you did some work with the Black Panther Party. What was life back like that in the Bay Area?
Well, I can say in Glen Elder and Southland Park Drive and West Household and Oak Park, where Shiloh Baptist Church was, we just had a whole lot of love.
Oh.
We may have been broke as the Ten Commandments financially, but we were spiritually rich, and we had something so rich that money can't buy. So rich that money can't buy. And that was connected to that deep self-confidence that both Cliff and Bart talk about. And that self-confidence connected to self-discipline. See, when you put self-confidence together with self-discipline in a Black body, in a Black culture, in a Black community in America, you talk about stardom. It could be spiritual stardom. It could be athletic stardom. It could be political stardom. It is stardom, just like that genius from Vallejo named Sly Stone, who said
That's right.
everybody is a star.
Everybody's a
It
star.
ain't,
That's right.
but you got to work at it. It ain't
Mm,
osmosis. It's not, it's not just skin pigmentation. It ain't biological. It's the choices that you make, the decisions you make, the commitments, the convictions that you pursue, and
mhm.
that's exactly what Big Cliff and Brother Bart represent at the highest level, and you too, my dear sister. You
Yeah,
represent that
that's right.
too.
You can be a star and still be young.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
You don't have to be old like us to be a star. That's right.
so,
Yeah.
so, cool Papa, Mr. West, you talk about mentoring the youth. What is that like? What are some of the good advice that you give them? Do you take some of your brother, Dr. Cornell's West advice and tailor that all in love with track and field? What kind of mentorship do you provide to the younger people?
Yeah, really what I do is, and really what same thing Cornell does too, is that we just take the lessons that we learned in our home growing up.
Mm.
We just be true to Clifton and Irene West every day, just like our sister.
Oh,
I just lost a sister. She was
I'm so
same
sorry.
way. But
Mm.
we just be true to that dinner table that we sat down at 5:30 every Monday through Friday, and poured love was poured into us,
Mm.
and we were allowed to experience really what love feels like, looks like, smells like, tastes like, and then go on and share it with the world. Because really, what we and not, we weren't unlike any other black family at that time. Because when I really think of the '60s and '70s and black folks in '60s and '70s, I think of love warriors.
Mm.
I think of love wars, each in his own way. Martin Luther King did it in his way. Malcolm X did it in his way. But you're talking about a people that are love warriors. That's why, every time we walk down the street, white people ought to give up and give us a standing ovation just for being
Woo.
here. And our
Hmm.
brother says
That's
that,
right.
Yes.
but just for being here. And when you think about all it is that we've had to love ourselves through, I don't know any other people have loved at that level.
Mm.
Historically, white folks have not loved it, definitely not loved us at that level.
No.
Even in modern history, what we've gone through as an involuntary servitude people, stolen from another land here, our history is unique in that way. And still, we love our way through it. And that's why we have the music we have today. Not just us, but the world has music that we gave to them
Mhm.
today. Those are cries of love. That's the language of love. That's God's language.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
rich. That's
So, oh, I
rich.
love it. I absolutely love it. Uncle Bart, you run a world-renowned Facebook page where you honor all the track and field stars, athletes in the Bay Area and around the world. What inspires you to keep going? Because that's what's brought you and Cliff together and Dr. Cornell West all together to talk about track and field. What inspires you and keep you pushing to keep doing that?
The reason why I started that page because I noticed in the track and field world, I seen less people going out for the sport and less people in the stands, and we don't try to keep together. Because I asked maybe a track athlete, when is the mile stack relay? He said, I don't know. I'm trying to
Oh,
figure out if you're a track athlete, you should know when the big meets are. But it's like track and field athletes, once they leave the sport, they just disappear. I just want to bring everybody back together
Mm.
because I see on TV football, baseball, how they get together, do things, do things together. Like they might golf or they might go fishing, and track and field, we just, you know, we just go our own way. I just want to bring everybody back together and just share some stories that we have, after we left the sport, see what we doing. And I always taught that you should always keep in contact with people because they might be able, for instance, if I have, okay, like my daughter, she gonna be finished with college pretty soon. But one of those people might be
Mhm.
able to help her, But
Yes.
if you stay by yourself, you are by yourself, And so we need to get together and we should be able to help each other. Yeah, I know Michael Johnson started this new track league, and I noticed most of the track athletes, they did not support him. I know the advertising people had pulled out, but he still needed support. He's in your sport. Why are you not trying to stick by him and to help him? Maybe give him some ideas, you know, to make it better. But everybody want to do something different. Everybody want to do something. I said, man, just like the black family, we all, going different ways. There is no more family, you know,
Mm.
family reunion. If we do have a family reunion, it just be a certain part of the family. Man, we all need to get together. Because if my mother or grandmother know that if we all had spread it apart, they will be pissed. They
Mm.
will be pissed. We need to stick together because I notice. I don't want to say it, other races, they always stick together.
Yeah.
They got stores. They always helping out one another.
Mhm.
In track and field, in our people, we seem to go. We just go a different ways. So I'm just trying to bring back the family of track and field. You know, um, that's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Just bring everybody back.
That's awesome. That is so
Mm,
awesome. And you're so
See,
you're so right. We got to stay connected. We do. We
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
do. Dr. West, I know you've written so many books. I'm a huge fan. I've heard all your speeches and all the great advice you give. In relation to what Uncle Bart just talked about, what books or ideas would you suggest that athletes read or we as a people read to keep us honed in together, to keep us loving on each other like you and your brother, Mr. West, grew up doing?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, Brother Barnes laying it out, and he and Big Cliff are saying the same thing to me in terms of the quality of relations tied to quality of community.
Mhm.
And that has to do with trust. It has to do with respect, but it's got to be deliberate. It's got to be intentional. You got to have folk like Brother Barton Big Cliff who decide to follow through to make sure we stay together
yeah.
in that
Yes.
deep, fundamental way. And and of course, the irony is that neither one of us, all four of us, we wouldn't be where we are if people hadn't decided before us to put us in quality relations.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
talk about grandmama. Oh Lord have mercy. We just got to pause and be silent when we start talking about grandma. Oh Lord. You talk about a love language can't capture, and the words gave up trying to keep track of. That's how deep that love is. So, what are the books? Well, one would be books by this brother right here, James Baldwin. He's a love
Yeah.
Oh,
voice.
yes.
And anytime
Yes.
you read Baldwin, you ought to turn on a little John Coltrane's Love Supreme just to
Yeah.
Mm,
keep
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
consistency going.
mm.
This sister right here, Toni Morrison, she's a love
Yes.
warrior. Her book, Beloved. Anytime
Yes.
you read Tony, then you ought to be listening to a little Nina Simone, or listening
Mm,
to
Okay.
some Curtis Mayfield, because all of them were what Cliff rightly called love warriors, freedom
mm.
fighters, wounded healers, joy
Yes.
sharers.
I love it. I love it. Take it back old school.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool Papa, Mr. West, give us some
You have to keep intact of your story.
yes.
Everyone has a story, and your story is kind of like your benchmark, your litmus test, your map in terms of how you navigate through this thing. And our story is not only today, but it started a while ago. Okay, let's just say 400 years ago when we talk about here on this earth. So apprising yourself of your story and being aware of your surroundings and so forth. Yes, some things have changed. Thank God. There has been progress made. Some you're talking about Carmelo Anthony, I believe.
Yes,
Some things
yes.
have changed, but also there's other things that have not changed. See,
Mm,
the conception of the disease of white supremacy that this country was born in is still dealing with that same pathology. And even though I remember when, I was a kind of like an anomaly. I was a distance runner black distance runner in the late 60s and even mid 60s. So I was like very few that were out there at that time, even nationwide. And it was a very turbulent time. However, the way the Lord would situate me in that situation is that I was put in a situation where I was able to apprise, teach of those that were willing to learn, instruct of those who were willing to take instruction of some of the misindoctrinations that they were living by. Because I was a black face in the white space and I was the only one there. So while I was really taken in with open arms, and I really was, I was taken in with open arms in the Sacramento community as a black distance runner in a white space, so to speak. But yet and still during these turbulent times, just like Bart was saying, you had Tommy Smith and Lee Evans standing up and speaking for us on a world stage. You had the assassination of Martin Luther King. You had the Watts riots just in 65. You had the cities burning down in 67 before the assassination of 68, where they burned down again. So you had all of this turbulence and stuff going on. And I remember I was on a long run one time at Cal. And one of my white brothers that was running with me asked, he says, Cliff, you're striking. You just got here to Cal and you're not going to class because you're striking for this Black Studies department. First 10 weeks of Cal, I didn't go to class for 9 weeks because I was part of a strike for Black Studies department and for tenured Black professors. And he says, I don't understand that. He says, why do we need a Black Studies department? If that's the case, why not strike for an Italian department or Irish history department? I said, because your story is told. I said, just by the question you're asking right there lets me know you're unsettled. Something unsettles you about hearing our story. And if a story is important enough to be told, if that story is important enough to be told, why isn't our story important enough to be told to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I progressed a little bit since then in my sophistication, being able to articulate these things, but it just made common sense to me, even as a 18-year-old, 17 to 18-year-old person, of that our story was not told, and every story is important. How does that relate to Carmelo Anthony? And I don't know, all the particulars about Carmelo and so forth, but we can never be so comfortable as a people as to discard the surroundings we're in at any given time. And we're all made in God's image and so forth, but we're also going through time.
Yes.
And time has its speed bumps, lumps, danger signals, stop signs, so forth. And so, and sometimes, it's just like, especially, and my father's and grandfather's time, where they would just go out and just lynch a Black person just to have something to do. Okay. And so, but yet and still, we just have to know that we are in a place that has not yet made it to the ideal that it is espoused to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Dr. West, I'm sure you want to add something to that from a race relations perspective.
Yeah, I think both of Big Cliff and Brother Bart are getting at, though, is that there's something that we have to be honest and candid about. And it is going to hurt some folk who are afraid of the truth. And that is that there's never been a people in the past 400 years who have been hated for so long and so intensely. There's been a whole lot of other groups that's been mistreated. Indigenous peoples, genocide, Jews, Holocaust, so forth. But when you enslave a people and try to tell the whole world they're less than human and then keep them on plantations for 244 years, where the average slave dies at 24 years old and they can't worship God without white supervision, so they got to steal away in creeks to raise their voices and still create some of the most beautiful music the modern world knows in terms of spirituals. And then after they are emancipated, another 50 years, every 2.5 days, some black man or woman or child was lynched. We ain't even talking about just a segregation. That's lynching. That's a level of hatred, intense hatred. And then we what? Teach the world so much about how to love. See, that's something that's very unique. I'm not, I don't believe in just black supremacy or nothing, but we got to tell the story about it's something about these Negroes who have been treated in this way and yet still produce the Louis Armstrongs and the Ella Fitzgeralds and the Martin Kings and the James Baldwins and the Sly Stones and the Whispers and the Main Ingredient, and we ain't even got to Luther yet. I mean, we could just go on and on and on. And that story needs to be told, because you see, the world is just, going to hell in a handbasket. And without any talk about love, compassion, service to others, and compassion is something bigger than your own ego and community, we talking about humanity. Well, that's the best of black folk. And without that message, the world is just a hellish, nightmarish place. And yet we live the hell, we live the nightmare, and yet here come all this light. Here come all this dawn. Here come all this love. And here come all this style. All this soul. Lord have
You talking about style. You talking about Bart now. You
Yeah.
talking about Bart now, brother. Yeah, you talking about Bart, Corn. When you talk about style, man, you talking about Bart. Because I remember when I first saw Bart run, man. When I first saw Bart run, no kidding. And the thing, you don't appreciate this, Corn, because you being a track person. There are certain people who run with just a certain level of grit, of courage, as if every race might be their last race in life. In life. And and I've been blessed to know a handful of people like that. And I mean, it's definitely not just limited to black folks. I mean, yeah, but just to mention a few, because these people are high profile people. Bart is one of them. James Robinson and the Half Mile is another one of them. Steve Prefontaine was one of those people.
Steve was one of them.
Jerry Lindgren too, for that matter. Lee Evans.
Oh yeah.
Lee Evans. These are people that when you saw them run, you were inspired by their grit and by just their gut, just an intestinal fortitude that they had. And Bart was not taught to be a hurdler. He had to be one of the shorter hurdlers, even though it was intermediate. But that brother, man, I'm telling you, he just embodied a certain kind of grit that inspired me, even though he was 5 years younger than me. You never get tired of the real thing. You never get tired of the real thing. Can't get put it like you can't get enough of the real thing.
And so humble. I remember growing up as a little girl, I just knew that was Uncle Bart, right? I just thought he was Uncle Bart. And as I got older, I was like, Uncle Bart's an Olympian? He's a track star? Just so humble.
Oh yeah.
Just such a sweet
when you're right, because I just saw him run. When I met him, I just kind of like JR. I just fell in love with the brother.
So, you guys talk about all the great accomplishments all three of you have achieved. Uncle Bart, what keeps you grounded? You could walk around town with your chest out. I'm Bart Williams, but what keeps you grounded and still humble?
Oh man, besides Muhammad Ali, I really don't care for people be, sticking. To me, it don't look good. But when Muhammad Ali did it, hey, it looked great. But you know, and then
Say on, brother. Say on.
and then I seen people try to be like Ali, but it didn't look good on them. And I said, I never want to have that image, trying to boast, trying to make me more than what I am. But I just, I just like being me. And
I see.
my father always tell me, whatever you thinking about, somebody else had already had thought about it. And I
Mm.
said, what? I'm saying like what you're talking about. He said like somebody building a car. Somebody before him had thought, thought about it, but this guy just put it into, works. And I don't know. I really don't know where I'm going with it, but I just like being level. I like helping people, and I like seeing people happy. And I always feel like if something happened, I could survive, but I'm going to help this person to get to where they need to get, because I said I can fall down because I believe in myself. I believe I know. This crazy story. I said if a plane crash, I think I'd be the only one on the plane coming out the coming out the plane crash, because I believe I can survive doing anything, even though it's rough, even though I don't want to be there, but I just believe in myself. That's one thing I have. I never believe in giving up. Setback is only to let you know what you have to do more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not. It's not. You are not. You are not failing. You just ain't there yet. As long as you don't give up on yourself, you will get there one day.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if I could add to that, Uncle Bart, Dr. West and Mr. West, my grandfather is 104 years old, still living.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lord
And
have
and
Yeah.
mercy.
and Uncle Bart talks with him often. I'm tearing up. He talks with them often and
That's
gives
powerful.
good advice, and having somebody like that in your life, I got to think that helps too, right? To
Yeah.
keep you
Yeah.
with those stories,
Yeah.
.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you just reminded me of something, Sister Drina, is that the greatest gift in life is love and to
Yes.
Yeah.
be loved.
Yes.
But the greatest tragedy is never to have been loved.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you better say it.
You know,
Mhm.
love is really what it's all about. I mean, we sometimes try to complicate things that don't need to be more complicated than they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes the
Yes.
most difficult thing in life to do is to keep it simple. And love
Mhm.
is at the core of those things. Again, I go back to the table and to the little Glen Elder 7990 for Glen Elder house that we grew up in. Cliff and Irene, it really is just all they just got to teach love, discipline, just like Bart was saying too. We grew up in the same discipline that Bart's dad was talked about too, but it was grounded, laced, and marinated and everything else in an authentic and undying love.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's so
That brings
very, very true.
and that
And your
brings me to my
104-year-old grand, that's why I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
I'm pointing at you now, Drina. That's
okay.
Yeah.
100. And so that he is that love son that come down and still shed raise the love on y'all.
Yes.
And that's part
Yes.
of why we're here right now,
Yeah.
Yes.
because
You
of
ain't
Yes.
him.
lying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You ain't lying. No,
Ooh, and
that's
Dr. West, I know with all your accolades, I can probably guess what you're gonna say. What keeps you grounded? Hopping a flight to Sacramento and being with your loved ones, right?
you ain't lying. But it's also the memories of those who have passed. Cliff was talking about our
Yeah.
Yeah.
beloved blood
Yeah.
sister Cynthia,
I'm
who
so
just
sorry.
passed. And Cliff gave one of the most powerful eulogies imaginable and
Mm.
talked about her. her courage and no fear of death, because mom and dad in Shiloh Baptist Church had prepared her for anything in life and anything in death.
Wow.
See, that's because love is stronger than life and death. And one of the signs of love is always humility. That's why Brother Bart was talking about this deep self-confidence and self-respect he had, but at the same time he had a humility, because humility is a sign of love and it's the benchmark of spiritual maturity. Joy is a fruit of love. We know that from the biblical text. But humility is always a sign of love, in the same way arrogance is a sign of insecurity. And arrogance ain't got nothing to do with love at all whatsoever. And even Muhammad Ali, see, he's complex, because me and Cliff got a chance to spend some good time with Muhammad Ali. And I was asked to introduce him. Remember that, Cliff?
Oh, I never forget that, brother. I never forget
Lord.
that.
Please
What
tell.
Muhammad Ali
Please
had
tell.
was he had this level of self-confidence and quest for excellence that was so overwhelming, but he treated everybody the same.
Wow.
That's how he was. You could be a king, a queen, you could be homeless on the block, or you could be coming around the corner on your tricycle. He embraced each and every one of them. And he got that from Odessa. He got that from Cassius Sr. He got that from Centennial Baptist Church, shaped on the chocolate side of Louisville. Now, he became a Muslim later, but he's still shaped by that. And that's very important. One of the things I recall when I was traveling with Bootsy Collins, you know what, we used to travel the country together. We produced 2 albums on his Funk Capital of the World, because, you know, Cliff and I did 3 albums together, but that's a whole different thing. Cliff writes different songs. What Bootsy used to tell me, that James Brown and George Clinton would always tell him, he said, before every performance, we all form a circle. So we got the ring circle going back to plantation. We all hold hands. He said, Brother West, say a word. He knew what I was going to say. He said, James Brown taught him, when you get on that stage, you leave everything inside of you for the people in order to make them feel as if they are people of dignity and creativity. They the ones you serving. They are the focus of what. It ain't about you, it's about them. And if you finish the concert and you still got an ounce of energy, you a failure. You got to learn how to give yourself, empty yourself, give everything. So when Brother Bart hits the tape, after going through the hurdles, he's giving everything. Is that right, my brother?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
That's what I saw in him, Corn. That's what I saw in Bart.
Everything. I give a lecture, I'm giving everything. But the humility and the tenacity and the dignity with the love at the center, tied to the joy, but always rooted in treating people right. That's what we got from Grandma and Granddad. That's why Cliff used to tell me all the time. He said, Corn, that old time religion, that's something that never goes out of fashion. And that's that love. That's that love.
And Mr. West, how do you stay grounded? Cool Papa.
Well,
that name in itself.
But I really, I was been rambunctious and rebellious my whole life, but really at one point I had no choice. Being now, a man of faith, and really when I think back, I always was, but I was just rambunctious and rebellious and taking other options which I always had a lot, seemed like, of the wrong options available. But the thing of it is now I'm grounded in the Word. I'm really grounded in the Word. And one of the things I've heard us all say here today, and it's one word we've been going around it, but nobody said, I'm going to say it right now, is service.
Yes.
See, the highest form of human existence is to be a servant.
Yes.
See, and when I seen Bart come around that 10th hurdle and clear that 10th hurdle, and that brother cleared that 10th hurdle, and then he came on in to make the Olympic team. Now, it may have felt like one thing to him, exhilaration. I've been at the finish line of a lot of great races, none as great as what Bart did on that day, but some great ones. But what I turned to find out is that it's also an act of service. Because
Yes.
just like Cornell said, you are emptying yourself to everyone else, something you have prepared for, something you have gone beyond the call of duty and the imagine and what your own imagination could contain. The capacity of your own imagination. I know Bart was go get her, go get her. But when he hit that tape, he actually did it.
Mm.
And those that looked at him, that are younger than him, they inspired them to now they could do it. And
Mm.
that is, whether we know it or not, that is service. That is a high form, the highest form of human existence.
Absolutely. Oh, I love
That's
it.
so true.
I love it. Any advice you guys would give to the listeners, whether it be track and field, life experiences, how we need to move forward as a people? Just any advice any of you would like to give? Any parting words?
I don't know. My advice to young people is just believe. And you had to start off with yourself. When I was a track coach, there's two things I tell the team. James Brown had this song back in the early '70s, and the thing he said on the one song, he said, "You have to pay the cost to be the boss.
Yes.
If you have to pay the cost. So there ain't no slipping and sliding, doing whatever you want. If you want to be the best, you got to pay the cost. And then if anything go wrong, once you go home in the bathroom and look inside that mirror, Michael Jackson saying, "The man in the mirror." I said, you got to blame that person. Don't blame your coach. Don't blame whatever. Once you blame yourself or look at yourself, then you can solve the problem. Because when you look at somebody else for the problem, for you not doing what you supposed to be doing, you will never get to where that that you're trying to get to. Start off with yourself, make
Mm.
yourself better, and then pay the cost to be the boss. That's all I had to
Absolutely. I
say.
love it.
That's it.
Mm,
That's it.
I like that, Bart. I like it a
yeah.
lot. And to piggyback on that, because you took all the meat off that bone, I'll go to another bone. And no more to add there. But listen, but know in going through it that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Mm.
just know you're not alone.
Mm,
Yeah, you got the ancestors. You got people that's looking out for you. You got the person, like Cornell always says, we are who we are because somebody loved us.
mhm,
Mm.
In my case, in all our case, I believe, but this is what I live by. I know that the Lord has got his hand in my hand. There's no way I would have been here if I could go through the stores without God's not just help, but his guidance and his deliverance.
mhm.
So I give my credit all to where it's due, and that is to
Mm.
Okay.
That's
All
so
right.
deep. Yes,
That's good.
sir.
That's real.
Yeah.
Oh, if you got two deep brothers with deep
Mm.
messages like that, I'm glad I'm on the train in the caboose. The function says the love train, and the OJ says the love train. Just let me stay in the caboose of the train. I got a smile on my face. But no, one of the things I'd say to young folk is that I want them to watch your show, my dear sister.
Oh, thank you, Dr.
yeah,
Oh,
West.
yes, because
yeah.
you on that same love train.
Mm.
And love comes in a lot of different forms. It could be journalistic, it could be athletic, it could be political, it could be tied to doctors and carpenters and so forth and so on. And all of them in the end have the same value in the eyes of God. I think if I were to have anybody reflect on something, I'd have them read the first verse of the 12th chapter of Hebrew that talks about a cloud of witnesses, that talks about a remnant, that talks about those who endure in the race of life. It could be the track itself as a metaphor for life. So you got responsibility, you got integrity, you got discipline, you got dignity, you got consistency in the race that you run. And then joy, as well as what Frankie Beverly reminds us, pain.
Mm.
It's joy and pain in that race. There ain't no joy without the pain, but with the pain, you find your joy in it. And that's the history of a great Black people. because we are people who've been running with joy and pain, trying to endure with all kinds of things coming at us, trying to convince us to hate back. We say, no, we love first and then we hate the sin. We don't have to hate the sinner. We hate the sin. We hate the injustice. We hate white supremacy. We hate anything that loses sight of the humanity of Black people or anybody else, but is rooted in the love. It's not rooted in the hatred. See?
Mm-hmm.
Not at
Yes,
all.
sir.
And that's a great tradition. We pass that torch on to younger generation. Y'all gonna take it in ways we know not of.
Mm, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so honored. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Dr. West, Cool Papa, Mr. West, Uncle Bart. I think every young person should see this just to inspire them, motivate them, that no matter how bad it may seem, keep pushing. With gentlemen like yourselves that are out there, how can we not go wrong? We got to keep pushing. So I thank you so much. I'm so honored that you came on my little show.
No, love you, love you, love you,
Thank
my
you.
dear.
Love you, love you, love you.
Yeah.
And these two
Thank
Yeah.
giants right here, Lord have mercy. Good God Almighty.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you heard the interview. What do you think? That was an imaginable, oh my gosh, that was an awesome, awesome experience. We had such a good time. And as I said earlier, we recorded it Tuesday because Dr. Cornell West is so busy. His schedule keeps him running all the time. Yes, sis, he is so fantastic. Absolutely. And at the end of the day, family is everything, right? And if you don't have family, turn to God. So excited for that. So as we close out the show, I'm going to leave my positive thought with you guys. Basically, I wrote this. It says pretty much, I want to remind you of something simple but powerful. Surround yourself with people who love you, respect you, and generally want you in their presence. That kind of circle keeps your spirit steady and your heart full. And if you're listening right now and you feel like you don't have anyone, go to God. He will place the right person, the right support, the right love in your life at the exact moment you need it. Hang in there, keep believing, and watch how things begin to unfold for you. Humanity, decency, integrity, and all of it grows stronger when we root ourselves in family, love, and tradition. Stay encouraged, stay inspired, and stay connected. I want to thank Dr. Cornell West, Cool Popper, Mr. West, as well as my Uncle Bart for coming on Let's Talk and mean the world to me. I thank them so much. I hope those words inspired you as well. And as we close out the show, I want to tell you guys, as I tell you all the time, do the right thing even when no one is looking. It's called integrity. As you heard Dr. West talk about, do one good thing. And I say, do one good thing for one person each day, and you can affect 365 lives. If no one's told you they love you, know that I love you. We got some cool guests coming up. I'm super, super excited about these additional guests that are coming on. You guys are going to be floored. I'm so excited. So stay tuned. Make sure you watch the Facebook page. Let's Talk with Author Juliette to see the announcements of who those guests will be, as well as the YouTube page. Let's Talk with Author Juliette. And if you know of any cool individuals that fall within the realm of informing, inspiring, motivating, inbox me, inbox us, and let us know. So you guys stay safe out there and love on one another. And with those words, I'm out.